Hello, everybody. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. It is really early in the morning, so I'm just gonna let you guys know about an experience I had. I am like really awake and really happy right now because it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. So let me dive right in. Um, I'm gonna put in the description a link to this particular lucid dream binaural beat that I was playing. I don't normally listen to binaural beats to lucid dream. I can lucid dream pretty much all the time. But this time, I was trying an experiment with a friend of mine, and I was trying to see if we both listened to the same binaural beat and thought about the same things on the way to sleep, if we would meet up with each other in a lucid dream or in the astral realm or whatever. So anyways, that failed miserably, guys. I'm gonna have to still work on that a little bit. It didn't turn out how I thought, but this is what happened. So I end up in a world where everything in this world is pretty much the same, but little things were different. Like my desk was on a different wall, the sofas were on a different wall, the kitchen was a bit, it was in the same kind of area in correlation to the place, but it was a little bit different. Things were just a little bit different. And I was on the cell phone with a friend of mine that I knew in college. And we were having a conversation about her kids. She had 2 kids, and my goddaughter going on a trip and then having a sleepover and some other stuff like that. We were planning out the details to that. And we were having a conversation over the phone. And while we were having that conversation, I knew within myself that my goddaughter was in the room asleep. Now, I was thinking, okay, let me go check on her. But I was like, nah, she's asleep, she's good. So I just didn't go in there. So I didn't actually see her. But I had this feeling that I knew that she was actually there. So everything felt like super, super real. And like I said, I'm gonna make sure I put the description in the description. I'm gonna put a link to this lucid dream video for sure. But anyways, so I'm talking on the phone to her, and after the conversation is done, I hang up the phone, and then I laid down on the floor in the lucid dream. When I laid down on the floor, I felt my body start to vibrate, and then I decided to step up out of my body. And when I stepped up out of my body, I saw my actual room, how it is here. But then when I turned around, I was in a completely different place, guys, a completely different place. And it's really hard to explain how this place looked. It was very empty, yet it was decorated nicely. And I could see symbols. There was a lot of different doors, and I could see symbols over all the doors. And when I looked at the symbols, I knew which doors I could go into and which doors I could not go into. So I started walking down this hall, and I knew there was an elevator to the right. So I went towards the elevator, and I saw a symbol over there that on the top of the elevator that meant I could enter it. So I was like, okay, let me go ahead and enter this elevator. When I opened the elevator, there was a black and a white robot. And these robots were there to keep me inside the facility that I was in. And I knew that. So when I refused to back away, they're like, back away, back away. I refused to back away. Then they started shooting at me these little bitty round like fireballs. And I was like, dodging the fireballs, stopping the fireballs, and I started from out of my hand shooting back at them. And I was defeating a lot of robots, guys. Robots were coming in. I was fighting robots, guys, for like 10, 15 minutes, okay? It's really weird, really weird. But after that was all done, I took off a headset, and I realized I was in a virtual reality. I was playing a virtual reality game. And I set the headset down, and I thought to myself, I don't really just want to play games. I want to explore. So once again, I looked for a way out of that box I was in, and I saw a window, and I ran towards the window, and I jumped out the window, did not break any glass or anything like that. I just jumped out the window. And when I jumped out the window, I was in a thick mist, a thick white mist. And I could not tell if I was flying or falling. And I was thinking to myself, of course I'm flying. I know I can fly. I'm good. And I told myself to just start flying faster and faster and faster. So I started flying faster and faster. And then I came close enough to, I guess I would have to say like the roof of the facility that I was in, that I jumped out of, except I was on the other side of it. So maybe it was a round facility or something, but from where I jumped out the window, I flew all the way across to the other side of that same building. And I got on top of the roof, and on the roof, it was snow on top of the roof. And I was walking on the snow, I could feel the snow, but it didn't feel cold. It wasn't cold at all, but I could feel the snow. And I was walking, and I came to a spot, and when I came to this spot, I could tell that in this area, I had played with my little brother before in this area. We played games in this area, and I knew it. And I felt such a strong deja vu. And I was just looking around at the area, and I'm like, having all these fond memories, and I'm literally there for like 2 or 3 minutes. So I walk back over to the edge, and some of the mist is starting to clear, and I see a ledge at the bottom where I can go down and enter into the building. So I float myself down, and then I go ahead and walk into the building, and I'm going down this hallway, and before I can even get to the edge of the hallway, I hear my dad's voice, and he calls me. He's like, "Son Rael." Now, when he said my name, I thought to myself in that split second, maybe I should just turn away, because I don't want to have no low vibes, is what I was thinking. But then I was like, that's kind of judgmental. That's kind of a low vibrational way. Maybe I should just go say hi to him, right? So I say, yeah, it's me. And so I started walking towards his voice. Now, when my dad came around that corner, guys, and I saw his face, he has such a bright aura about him. He had a smile on his face. He looked very young, like how he looked when I was a little child. And he was like, "Hi, son." And I was like, "Hey, Dad," And he reached out to shake my hand like he would do, and I shook his hand. And I was a little bit timid at first because, sometimes in these astral realms, you shake hands with different entities. You never know what's going on. But anyway, it was all good. Nothing bad happened. And so I started walking with him towards the living area. And I knew I was going towards the living area. It was like, boom, I knew where I was all of a sudden. And he was talking to me, some small talk. And I said, "You know what, Daddy? You know I love you, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, I love you too, son." And I'm like, okay, look, this is cool. Like, I'm telling y'all guys, I'm in a really, really happy mood right now. Like, what just happened was really incredible. So check it out. So anyways, we go into the living room. There was a little small TV in there. It looked like a really simple layout. And my dad sits down and he's telling me, "Yeah, I've been trying to fix this thing." He was trying to fix something. And then one of my little brothers comes by and he looks in and he's talking to my dad. And so I say, "Hey, bro, do you remember?" I didn't say, "Did you remember?" I said, "Hey, bro, did we used to play on top of the roof back there?" Now, when I said that, he looked at me weird, like, "What are you talking about on top of the roof?" And so I was like, not on top of the roof, like out back. And he was like, "Nah, I don't think we used to play out back, So I was like, yeah, me neither, because I didn't know if I was like in another world or what was going on. I didn't want to come across too crazy. So I just was like, "Hey, yeah, whatever, nah, me neither, And he comes in and he sits down. Then my mom comes in. And then my mom and my dad are talking to each other. And they are, look, guys, I'm not going to say that I'm just gonna say it like this. My family has been through a lot. My mom has lost a lot of her brothers. My dad lost a lot of family. Our family's been through a whole lot, right? But the way my mom and my dad were talking to each other there, I have never heard them talk to each other like that. They were full with so much love and so much joy, and they were just talking to each other and just enjoying each other's company. And they were dealing with, I don't know, maybe something that was financial or whatever, but they were just talking about it. It was no big deal. It was no big deal, guys. And I'm just looking in amazement, and I'm telling everyone that I love them. And then my other little brother comes in, and I'm like, hey, bro, how's it going? You know? And I was like, he's like, it's going good. I'm like, I love you, bro. You know I love you, right? And he's like, yeah, I love you too. And then I was like, look, I wanted to tell him something, because right now, me and that brother, we're kind of at odds a little bit. He doesn't really like the path I've chosen in life and won't respect me for it. So I love him to death. I respect whatever path he chooses. And I wanted to ask him about what's going on here while I was there. And it was really hard to talk, almost as if my tongue was really numb. So I took a deep breath, and I was like, bro, if I told you that one day you would be mad at me and we wouldn't really be talking anymore, would you believe it? And he was like a little taken back by the question. He was like, no, I would never believe that. And so I smiled and I was like, yeah, I wouldn't believe it either. But it actually happened in another life. And when I said that, my mom chimed in and she was like, what happened in another life that y'all didn't talk to each other? You know, like she was really like mind blown, because we were really close and I knew we were really close. And I was about to explain to her why. Check this out, guys. This is powerful. I was about to explain to her and him what happened here, but I knew that religion did not exist there. So I would have had to actually explain how a person's belief could drive a wedge between their relationship. And something was telling me, don't do that. Don't bring those vibrations into that world. So I didn't. I said, you know what? It has nothing to do with this world. It took place in another world and it would never happen here, so don't worry about it. And I literally kicked back and I just sat there in that living room with them for probably another 10 minutes. And I probably would have never left. But I closed my eyes to take in the moment, guys, and then I woke up. I woke up back here, but I wanted to just stay there, because in that moment, there was no judgment, guys. There was nothing but love from my family. And I haven't felt that, bro. Over religion. Over what we were told was the truth and have decided to believe. And it's so powerful that it can drive a wedge between our relationships. And spirituality can too. If you don't watch it, spirituality can turn into a religion like that, like real quick. It really can. I sat up and I was full of joy. And I was full of peace, because something in that moment made me understand that I have my family for life. No matter what we're going through right now. Like, look, right now, they in the matrix right now. They a little bit blinded right now. I was too. But we go way back, way back to different lives. And so that really encouraged me. And I had to just come down here and just make this video real quick, because I love my family, I love my family. And to be in that moment and see how much love we all have for each other, But we didn't have no distractions. We had a little small raggedy TV, and what was playing on the TV, I could not even describe it to you. It does not correlate to this world. I don't know what was on that TV. It made no sense to me. But no one was looking at it because we were talking to each other. There was no phone for me to look at. There was no distractions. All we had was each other. That's it. And that's all we needed. So, I said all of that to say this. On the way down here, I had something that I really, really wanted to say. And I don't want to harp on nobody's religion, guys, because there's something that can be gained from every religion in the whole wide world. So I'm not trying to harp on nobody's religion. But what I would say is that hopefully one day we will value human beings more than any thought, more than any ideology, more than any status quo, more than any money. We would value love and authenticity. Here I am, hoping that I can go back to that world so I can be loved by my family. I mean, I'm just gonna be real, guys. Like, that's crazy when you really stop and think about it. I gotta go quantum leap. And it's not that they don't love me, it's just that it's not the same kind of love here. It's love with strings attached. It's a love as long as you believe how I believe, guys. And that's like, and there's so many people, look, I hear it all the time. There's so many people going through the same thing. That's just not cool. And if anyone in my family comes across this video, or if you are that family member pushing someone away because they think differently than you, come on. Man, really? All the way to the deathbed. So anyways, just wanted to make that quick video. It's already at 17 minutes. I don't want to make it too long. I hope you'll have a wonderful day. I hope these words really sink in. I love you all. And I'm about to go travel back to my family. We got some things to talk about. Because this world, oh man. Anyways, I love you guys. Peace.